Good day to all of you. It's been a long time since I've addressed you in English. My apologies for that. It's a time thing. It's not done on purpose, but this is what happens. So please forgive us for that. I just wanted to tell you something about what's going on right now in terms of the measures being relaxed. As you might have noticed, lots of measures have been relaxed already, and today the Prime Minister announced that virtually all remaining measures regarding COVID-19 have been relaxed, have been taken away. Why is that? Why can we do that? Well, as of a couple of weeks ago, when we went on to take away most of the measures, of course we kept monitoring the situation, and things stay fairly stable at a fairly low level, which means that we're looking at incidence rates, so the amount of new cases per day. We're looking at the fact whether there are new admittances to hospital, and that stayed pretty stable as well. And we're looking at severity of disease, and we're looking at especially the death rate. As you know, we lost quite some people, especially vulnerable older people, people who were not vaccinated. But this stayed stable in the past couple of weeks, and if you release most of the measures and things stay put and stay at a fairly low level, then it's time to see what happens if you take everything away. There's also something else that emboldens us to be able to do this, and that is the knowledge that's coming out more and more of scientific research, showing that not only is Omicron more infectious, we knew this already, so did you, but also that more than other variants prior to Omicron, this Omicron seems to be giving more asymptomatic infections. That means there are many more people that were infected but had no symptoms at all, so don't even know that they were infected. Perhaps probably never were tested. Some people go as far as saying, or some research claims, that it could be up to 80 or 90% of all of the infections that are asymptomatic. Now, if this were true for Curaçao, it would mean that there are 3 to 4 times more people that have been infected than what we are actually reporting. Because we report primarily those that we test, well, actually only those that we test that tested positive. And certainly after taking away the third-day antigen test, most of the people that we test are people that have symptoms. So if that represents about 20% of the cases, then you can figure out that 3 to 4 times as many are probably infected if the same comparison holds true for our island. This means that together with all of those who were vaccinated, who were boosted, that we have built up a fairly high level of immunity. And that means that you can have a steady state and that you don't expect to have very gigantic high cases anymore. So this is the reason why we can move now in a new phase and release the measures, keep surveillance on, keep tabs on what's going on, to be able to pick it up again when and if necessary. So this is the reason why we can take off the measures. We keep monitoring though, and if there's any reason to, then we will see if there are other measures that need to be taken, but we hope that will not be the case. What about coming into Curaçao? What's going on there? We also released the last hurdle, you might say. So no more testing required coming into Curaçao from wherever. Why is that? Remember, why do we do testing? First of all, it's not in a trial to keep the virus completely away from the island. That's impossible. You cannot keep the island closed off of the rest of the world forever. So the virus will appear. The only question is, when does it happen? So we've tried to explain that in the past many times. So we try to buy some time in order to make preparations, see what's going on elsewhere, what is the virus doing, what are new variants doing, what do we need to prepare for. So we use that knowledge. That's why the reason for trying to postpone the introduction into your island as much as you can. And once it is here, to try to see if you can detect as soon as possible to help limit the spread once you're still experiencing a spread on a low level. But if we're in a situation where we are now, that we now think that actually a lot more people than what we have mentioned before, for all the reasons I just mentioned about the asymptomatic people that are walking around. Many more people have been infected, which means that your level of immunity is probably higher than what we think, And that allows us, if we compare to the rest of the world, that there's no much big difference and no much added value to be expected from doing all of these tests. Yes, you will find positives, but will it lead to bigger spread on the island? Probably not, because of the level of immunity that we've created. So you'll keep on having a steady state of amount of people being ill. Hopefully, if we take care of our vulnerables, if we take care of the elderly at home, if we take care of the people who are immune compromised, if we make sure that we ourselves maintain measures to protect them. So wear a mask when you come close, try to keep distance, remember hand hygiene, etc. All of the stuff we've been talking about for the past 2 years. If you keep on doing those and keep on protecting the vulnerables, we will be okay. So those measures can stay put. So what else can you expect? So what we expect for now is that, as said earlier, the measures are off. You can expect that you will keep having a steady state of some cases per day. And right now we're stabilizing around 60. Let's hope it stays around there and doesn't get worse. We will keep monitoring the situation. What you can also expect is that, of course, you've noticed that already, we will not be reporting the new cases or cases on a daily basis. That only leads to stress for everybody. It's also not necessary if we reach to a steady state. So slowly but surely we'll be moving to once a week, and after that maybe we can even stop if things stay the way they are. The other thing you can expect is all of this testing stuff, that this also we're moving into a new phase where we'll make an alternative for the testing, not having test streets anymore or drive-thrus, whatever you want to call them, and that we won't be testing everybody anymore. But before we can do that, we need another system to be able to have a decent picture of what really is going on, through reporting via the GPs, for example. We're working on that. As soon as that will be available and in place, we can stop the mass testing. We will keep on testing certain people though. Who will we keep testing? We'll keep testing people going to the hospital, people in homes for the elderly or in care homes or at hospices, etc. Elderly at home, people who are severely ill. Those are the people that we will keep on testing, and we'll do some random testing in the rest of the population. But we will not be doing the mass testing anymore. That's not now, it's not in place yet, but that's where we're working towards. I want to leave it at that. I hope I've informed you enough for now, and I wish all the ladies in Curaçao a very happy Women's Day. Thanks very much.